anything that they just don't practice? Huh? Moshe, you practice the piano? How much do you practice? I know you're good at the piano, I heard. How long do you practice it? What's your practice schedule like? 3 times a week? How much do you practice? You guys practice the piano for 2 hours straight? Some of you guys might even not do homework for 2 hours straight, right? And you come in and you go, oh, I don't understand everything. Huh? I wonder why. Huh? Okay. No, you got to practice. Is that right? Practice. Good. Yeah, I hear Moshe's really good at the piano. How long did you have practice days that were longer? No, or has it always been kind of that way? Do it every week consistently? Exactly. Exactly. Consistency. All right. Let's talk about this. Okay. We're going to talk about percentiles. I'm going to give you the definition of what it means to be a percentile of a data score. Percentile of X. And do you guys know how this works? We're looking at data values and how they actually relate to other data values or to the group of data as a whole. And do you guys know people actually go with this all the time in a lot of different settings, a percentile of a data score. And that's defined to be the number of data scores less than X, whatever that score is, divided by N. What's N? What's N? Sample size. Good. Times 100. Okay, you guys with me on that? Okay, so let's see. For example, if we look at this sheet that I gave you, right? I gave you the sheet for a reason. We'll talk more about it. But let's say you got the score of 100. Let's say you're somebody in the room that has a score of 100. When you compute the percentile of that score, what happens? Let's take a look. Let's compute it. You guys notice something? What list are you going to look for? I gave you 2 lists. You have the test scores. There they are. And then you have what? What does it say? I even put a box around it. You got sorted data. What does that mean? I sorted your data how? Smallest to largest, okay? So notice this. Do you guys see a data score of 100? Okay. How many data scores are less than 100? How do you guys know that? You counted how many are from the sorted list? Do you guys also see the numbers I put on the left there for you? Why do you think I put those there for you? Why would I put that? Is it what? Is it easier now? Ah, nice. What would you have to do in real life, though? Sort them yourself, either by hand or by using a what? Not a calculator. Does your calculator sort them? It does? Yeah. Calculator sort your data now? Okay. Okay. How many data scores are less than that 100? How many? 9. How many data scores are on that list? 30. What's 9 divided by 30 times 100? Is it 30? 30. Is that true? 30? Huh. So what does that mean? 100 is in the what? 30th percentile, okay? Now notice this. Notice this definition. If we're taking how many scores are behind your score, right, dividing by the total number of people or scores that are on the list, multiplying it by 100, you guys want to know what this feels like? Anybody know what this feels like? It feels like this. 30% of the scores are what? Where are they? 30% of the scores are what? Less than or smaller than what? Your score. So what this does is it shows where you rank in relation to other people. If your score is that 100 and it's in the 30th percentile, that means 30% of all the scores are where? Behind your score. What does it mean about the people above your score? Uh-oh. What does it mean about the people above your score? Let's think about this. 30% are behind your score. And maybe you feel good. What does that mean? For every 10 people, 3 are behind me. Good. What does it mean about the rest, though? Aren't the rest in front of your score? What percent is that? 70%. You see what I'm saying? So if your data score is 100, you can say, good, 30% of everybody else is behind me. But what that also implies is that 70% are above you. What does that mean to you? Is that good? Is that bad? Is that good or bad? Why would you say bad? Not as high as you thought. Do you think, does anybody ever really use this stuff? Do people use this? Or, this is just a course we have to take, right? We just take this course and, God, they waste our time and, you know. Does anybody ever use this stuff? Do you guys know something? Every year, what gets printed in the LA Times? Anybody here have children? Anybody here plan on having children? When you have your children, what do you want for them? The best. We all do. Is that right? We want the best for our kids. What if you sent your child to a school that was in the 30th percentile? What does that mean? What does that mean to you? Well, it means that that school, the good news is 30% of everyone else is behind that school based on some measure. Of course, they would have everybody take a test, probably see the average or whatever, and see where it ranks with everyone else's average. And what they're going to compute then is that 30% of the schools are behind your school. And you say, good. And then, what's the problem, though? 70% are what? In front of that school. So it gives you an idea of how things are related, right, by position to everyone else. And it gets printed in the LA Times every year, probably after the traditional school year, which is June. Do you guys know that? Look out for it in the paper. You guys know there's a newspaper? Anybody bother reading it? You guys know what drives me crazy? It drives me nuts. I don't know why. Like, I don't know why. I remember what happened when we first invaded Iraq and all this stuff was happening. And I got people in my house. I won't mention any names. I don't want to hurt people. And then this big invasion. It's on the news. It's all over the news. Oh, my God, everything's happening. And you got somebody walking in the room. What's this? They look at it. Oh, change it. And you realize what's going on. Some people don't even read the paper, don't even what?